Women are always told to choose better men, like it's their problem, the men are bad.
How about taking that dreaded first step towards some personal accountability and realize that a lot of women, in fact, do need to choose better? Because a lot of times, some women tend to choose the same types of men that have the same bad characteristics over and over again and decide that it's all men that share those characteristics.
The men are never told to be better men.
Has someone not been paying attention? Because there are multitudes of individuals out there telling men every single day that they need to be better. But I guess someone must have missed that.
It's much easier for a man to choose to be better than a woman to choose better, because a lot of these men are wolves in sheep's clothing.
Really? Exactly how difficult is it for some women out there to actually understand the characteristics that make a good man as opposed to just an attractive man? Because a lot of women will simply date on what they find attractive versus what should be considered for a relationship. And that's the main problem there.
I have to say, I feel sorry for some of you men out there in the dating world, because it is 2025. I'm a 38-year-old female, and these women out here even confused me. Some women out here putting Jesus in their bio, but then you go look at their stuff and it's nothing but thirst traps, lustful, seductive content. I mean, the modern day woman calls serving your husband oppression, but yet will have no problem going out and serving a male boss and cry that that's empowerment. And real feminine energy is not marketing like the modern day woman might tell you. Y'all are seduction and femininity like completely confused. And I've said it before, but a lot of women have this long laundry list of unrealistic criteria that they want in a man, but yet they bring nothing to the table. And we don't talk about that. We tell the women, no, you are a queen, you will be treated as such, but we're not teaching women how to be wives these days. And I would go out on a limb and say that most of the women out in the modern day dating culture do not actually have standards. They have entitlement and accountability, a woman's kryptonite. Some of you ladies are going to alone still blaming men for the choices that you made.
My car is parked, so I'm not driving, but I want to say this. Men who compete, let me slow down. Men who compete with women do so because they know they cannot compete with men. Let me say that again. Men who compete with women do so because they know that they cannot compete with men. They know that if they compete with men, somebody will be hurt, and it's more likely to be them. And it's a lot of other male egoisms that fall from the beef. So when you see men in competition with women, it's because they really know that they can't compete with men. Let's be clear.
I feel like I'm sharing the secrets of women that women don't want to tell, but I'm going to share it. Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. I think something that women would never want a man to know is truly how much she desires boundaries. She wants to hear no. She wants to see a man who has so much self-control. A man who has self-control and discipline over his flesh is so attractive. And a man who's like, baby, I love you. We're not doing that today, okay? I love you. If he's doing it from the heart posture and reverence of not controlling his woman, that's the difference. A woman can sense heart posture a mile away, and so can men. Men can sense when a woman is being controlling versus nurturing.
Women, when they fight with men, their goal is to get men frazzled, right? Crazed. And what is the most annoying thing that happens in a fight when it comes to male-female dynamics? The most annoying thing to women is when guys don't get frazzled, when they're just like, sure, honey, whatever. You know what? You want to scream, yell, I got stuff to do. And then they will get bigger and crazier, and the crazy eyes will come out because they have to know, they have to try to rattle you, right? And some guys will not allow themselves to be rattled. And those are obviously the best, most stable, most sane guys, right? But it's also the guys and those are the guys that also maintain authority in their house and whatnot, because they're letting you know, honey, you get to act like crazy person. I'm not going to be, no, it's not going to work on me.
So many of my girlfriends who are such catches, total package, it seems like there is a shortage of amazing men to match. What is going on?
Women are doing
doing great. We are graduating college. We are like getting great salaries, and the men aren't catching up. And then you have in cities like, say, New York City and LA, there's disproportionately more college educated single women than men. And when you have that imbalance of ratio, it actually impacts the dating culture and roles. So people get married later, there's more infidelity, things like that. Yeah.
Do you think dating apps are playing a role in this?
Dating apps have changed the way we meet people, which is great, but it's also changed the way we think of people. So the endless options cause us to assemble partners like Build-A-Bear.
Right.
And we're like, I want this height, this age. I think it's caused us to treat people like objects versus humans. And what you're finding now, I find this a lot more with women than men. There is this extreme of over-icking.
Yes,
Where
I wanted
it's like,
to talk to you about that.
Oh my gosh, you wore sandals on the date. Forget it. People go on one side of an extreme. So one side is like no standards at all. And the other side is being so protective and over-icking and dismissing people before they have a chance. And that's our way of not getting hurt because we've been so disappointed. But doing that makes it impossible for a connection and love to grow.
Women are evil, okay? People are telling me, oh, but women are made to lead. Women have a lot of power right now. Let's take dating apps, for example. They have all the influence, all the power of the selection. They are the ones that have the upper hand. I think 80% of men have zero voice. That's what happens when you give women power. And I don't even think they're doing this out of like, ill intent or malice. I really think it's incompetence. I don't think they know what they want. They're just acting out of instinct. They see hot man, they want hot man. They see ugly man, they don't want ugly man. We know that picking a partner, your husband, who's going to be with you for the rest of your life, who's going to father your children, goes a lot deeper than just looks. That's very superficial. But I don't really think too deeply about that. Back in the days, women were chosen husbands by their parents, and divorce rates were lower. So why have we flipped the entire script now, where women have a selection of every single man on this planet on their phones, and they can just like click whether they want him or not? I don't hate the concept of dating apps, but there's a big issue here. I'm not even trying to like hate or be a misogynist or pick me, but the situation is getting worse and I kind of feel bad.
So this black woman messaged me and she was like, I feel as though you empathize with black men, but you don't empathize with black women. Well, the reason why I empathize with black men is because black men are the most disrespected out of all the races in the world, right? Black men are the most disrespected by their woman, meaning the black woman, right? There is no other race in the world where women think that it's okay to disrespect their man the way that black women disrespect black men. And here's the crazy part about it. Let's go to the statistics. Let's go to the facts. Black women are the least likely to get married. Black men are getting married at higher rates than black women. Black men are commodities. If you go to any place around the world, most women want black men. Black men are commodities. But for whatever reason, black women don't see that. And then they are entitled and think that they're supposed to come with all this baggage, be out of shape, have all these kids, out of marriage, and just be really a hot mess. And then a black man is just supposed to be like, well, I should just settle for this. The black woman really thinks that the black man should be happy with settling with their nonsense and foolishness on top of being combative and disrespectful. Why would a black man deal with that when he can go get a woman from another race that is going to not have kids, the whole nine, and want to actually get on his program? I'm going to need black women to wake up.
Okay, I'm just going to say this, and it's going to annoy some people, but it's true, okay? If you claim to be attracted to women, but you don't go down, or like you're one of those guys who's like, oh, that's quite intimate. I really only do that with girlfriends. Or just like, oh, I'm not like into the taste, it's a bit rank. It's a bit fishy. Yeah. You just don't really like women as much as you claim to. My kind, lesbians, we go down. Like it is our life's purpose. Dig deep into what it is you're into, because I would suggest it's not women at all.
You guys, look at this video right here. This is what appears to be a single mom of 3 right now, trying to take down the Christmas tree. Mind you, it's February. Like, it's February right now. This is just laziness. This is laziness to a T. That's what's wrong with this country. 3 kids, 1 on her hip, probably by 3 different dads, if I'm being honest. Like, where is the husband in this situation? Where is the husband that should be helping her take down the tree? Like, I just want to know where the husband is. Is chivalry in this country? Is chivalry?
Not one woman mentioned that they're going to be a good mother, right? A good wife, a dutiful wife, and help support the man. Everything was me. This is what y'all are competing for in the West, okay? That's what you're competing for. So, since women have this crazy concept of I'm successful and I deserve the highest value man that I can get, regardless of my own personal inadequacies, you guys need to become. Not so that you can get them, guys. I said that a million times. You don't become so that you can get girls. You become so you don't tolerate the that inevitably comes with the girl.
Modern women don't be listening. They don't be listening. If you don't say it how they want you to say it, then it's almost as if you didn't say it or you didn't do it at all. Oh, why is it that everybody's attacking men and telling or attacking women and telling women to be better women? How about you tell men to be better men? Y'all celebrated the death of the man that was telling men to be better men. Y'all celebrated his death. Y'all celebrated his death. When he said, men, if you're going to do that, Kevin Samuels was talking about, men, you need to be doing this. You need to be dressing like this. You need to present yourself like this. You didn't hear a lot of kick up and dust up because men were like, okay. And Kevin Samuels was talking to the men hard. When it got to modern women and them not taking accountability, that's when it blew up. And you have many other creators in the space that are saying the same thing. A lot of these modern women are not taking accountability. So you probably don't hear it because men are saying, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I need to take accountability.
After 30, that's when a woman starts thinking. Because
So before 30,
yes, she's not thinking. Okay. Why? Okay. Because she's getting free attention. She's living life on easy mode, right? Because men are still paying attention to her. But now when you get to 30, you're old. They are now looking at the young. Yes. They are now looking at the younger women. And now she has to think.
So now I have to think.
Yes. That's when they start thinking.
You know? Okay, so women before 30 don't think much.
From, how do you say it? Okay, preschool years, 4 or 5 years, right? You'd see this little girl, she's very intelligent, yes? She goes on up to age 16. She's very intelligent, more intelligent than the boys, right?
Okay.
16, what happens? I think that's when you'd say puberty actually starts. The breasts start developing, the hips, the buttocks. Men start paying attention to her. She goes, the brain goes, stops functioning. 16 up to what? And then after 30, she gets back. They come back.
As women, can't we just be honest about the fact that a lot of girls aren't lonely because they can't find a decent man who's respectable, or men aren't men anymore? They're lonely because the expectations of what they want out of a relationship do not equate with who they are in relationships. You say you want a man who's emotionally mature, but whenever you're losing an argument, you start crying. That's emotional manipulation. Some of y'all want a man who's consistent, but you don't even post content consistently, let alone go to the gym consistently. And don't get me started on the meal plan you said you were going to start 3 weeks ago for your winter arc. You want a man with great communication skills, but you crashed out on the last one because you thought he was gaslighting you or manipulating you or he was a narcissist. Stop letting people get you out of character. That means you don't have good communication skills. All I'm saying is you can't expect a high value partner when you are not a high value partner. This fantasy idea that all the men are the bad ones and all the girls are just 10 out of 10s waiting for someone perfect. You're not perfect. 10 out of 10 is perfect. You're not perfect. And neither is the man that is also on your level. But you won't even give him a chance because in your mind, you're a 10 and he's a 5. But in reality, you're both 6s. Sit with that. The uncomfortable truth here, ladies, is that the dating market and the men are not the only problem. For a lot of the girls, self-awareness is the problem. Because you can't want better when you're not better.
There is a rise of single lonely men. This is intentional. I want you to understand. This is intentional. There's a rise of single lonely men. And then you have a push for over-sexualization for women who don't understand male nature because they don't know nothing about male nature. But they're using sexuality to manipulate and anger men. This is done from the top. This is not done from the bottom, right? Okay? And what's going to happen is they're trying to rile up these men because this is a part of their depopulation plan. It's a part of the depopulation plan. Rile up these men, make them angry, right? And we already know, if you study boxing, how does a boxer get ready? Refrain from sex and make yourself angry when you get in the ring. That's what testosterone does to the male brain. And they attack. So this is a game that's being played from a much higher level, and everybody else is a pawn in it. Mindless robots that have no earthly idea about what's being done.
Because the problem with women in social media is really not the media itself, it's what we choose to consume, right? So for men, a lot of times they consume content that is about leveling up to some extent, how to get more money, how to look better, how to attract more women, whatever. For women, oftentimes it is just content that validates, you're perfect the way that you are. Everything about women is great. You don't have to change for any man. You can just keep being yourself and somebody's going to come into your life and fall in love with you just as you are. That's the issue, because then we're not growing. We're not challenging ourselves. We're not becoming better people. We're not becoming better women. And the women that do try and make content like that, y'all reject them like because you think that they're talking bad about you, when in reality, they're just asking you to do better, step up, become a better version of yourself, so that way you can actually get the things that you want. But y'all just want to believe that you can stay the same and get the things you want. And that doesn't make any sense. So if we collectively as women change the type of content that we consume, I think that it could help us grow. But, the girls just want to hear about what's on sale and clothes and makeup and shoes and hair and blah, 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 blah.
First off, I didn't have a message for black women. My message is actually for the men. And it's to show the men what the women do that they already know. And it's easy to prove it. It's just like if you wanted to prove that white people who keep saying that they're not racist are racist by simply putting a mask over the resume and then showing up at the job and see if they treated you differently than when they read the resume and they thought you were white. That way you have actual proof on tape. So what I would have had was actual proof on tape that in a discussion where people were talking about this is why women aren't being approached. If these people gave a crap, they would listen, even when it's stuff they don't want to hear, which is why I gave the example of if you're a Jewish person, you better listen when the Nazis talk. But instead, I was told, so are you threatening us? So they don't ever want to listen. And I proved it to the men that the people that sit here and say they actually do want to have a conversation with you won't, because you found every excuse to not listen. And there's no reason to do that. And if we really wanted to have a true conversation amongst people, we'd actually want to play in the space of people who disagree. I want someone to challenge what I've said, specifically what I've said. Ask me to prove it, and I will. I stand 100% on everything I say and can prove it. And that's why y'all go to the language and how it was said and whatever. But it's never, what did he say that was wrong, inaccurate, not factual? And that's what I showed.
Hey, babe.
Yes.
I got a question since you always ask some questions. Women are right and men are always wrong. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. Hell yeah. Women are always right. Men are wrong. For sure.
So you really believe that?
Believe it to my core.
Women are always right and men are always wrong.
Yep. You know it.
Well, check this out. Riddle me this. So if a man says a woman's right, is he wrong?
If a man says a woman's always right, is he wrong?
Food for thought.
Good one.
Women love when they get what they want.
That's
it.
You need
So there's no
water.
loyalty. Loyalty doesn't exist.
What I'm trying to say here And any man who's been to divorce or had problems with women will agree with me and understand exactly what I'm saying. Women are loyal to how they feel. If you make them feel a certain way, then they're loyal to that feeling, which is loyal to you. Women aren't loyal to anything outside of how they feel. Men actually are more loyal than women because men, like I said, can suffer gracefully. Women can't. Men will be loyal to a society. Men will be loyal to a race. Men will be loyal to their friends. Women can't even get along for 5 minutes amongst themselves. Men will be best friends for 50 years. Men are loyal. We know loyalty completely. We'll go a ditch for a flag. You want to talk about loyalty? Men are loyal. Women aren't loyal. Women are, how do I feel today? You can take a woman on a private jet to a mansion in Miami and have the best time. She'll tell you how much she loves you. And then the next day when she's mad at you, she will literally say verbatim, you never give me anything. You don't take care of me. You reject me. I'm not looked after. She'll forget 12 hours before where she had the world. Because women are only care about how they feel. They don't even think. They just feel. And what they feel is absolute gospel truth. And it matters more than society, matters more than everything else. They don't give a about World War II. They don't give a their grandfathers. They don't give a about England. They don't give a about anything because they only care about how they feel. Whereas a man might sit and say, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to suffer for the greater good of my race, my nation, my ideals. So men are loyal. Women love when they get what they want. That's it.
You need.
Men do not date. Dating is for women. And she calls it getting to know each other. Wrong. It's an audition. A lion does not schedule interviews with meat. He already knows he likes the meat when he saw it. What are you even talking about with the woman anyway? Please. Weak men date because they want approval. If you keep playing the dating game, you're just choosing to be evaluated. And the men who get evaluated rarely get chosen. Cheers.
Hey, can you put your seatbelt on? Like, I'm tired of listening to beeping. No, literally, just put your seatbelt on. It's not that big of a deal. Just put your belt on. Put your belt on, seriously. You don't want to put your belt on? Okay, all right. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, put your fucking seatbelt on.
Oh my god.
To be fair, she kind of had it coming. Sometimes the greatest lessons in life is learned the hard way. I didn't tell you twice! And to be fair, he actually was a lot nicer than what I would have. I would have slammed on the brakes a lot harder.
And I'm glad that somebody's talking about it. Because a lot of these modern women think what he was saying is after 30, that's when a woman starts thinking. That's when she starts thinking, oh shoot, if I want to do these things, then I got to get my behind in gear. Yep, it's about right. Should have been thinking about that a little bit earlier. Now, let's say this. Maybe you get with a man when you're 26. Y'all might date for maybe a year or two. You get engaged. You're probably getting engaged at 27 and a half, right? Y'all kind of hang out together for a couple more years. You're probably getting married at 30. So you've built up a pretty good rapport with that person, a pretty good history with that person to kind of see. But modern women, they're starting their search at 30. They're starting their search at 35. They're starting their search at 40. Well, now that I'm strong and independent, I'm looking to add on to my life. Maybe you can. Maybe you can find somebody. Maybe you can't. But with the really, honestly, and truly, it's not that you can't find anybody. And I'm not talking about, well, can you find somebody that wants you? Because I believe that you can. It's just your standards and the way that you be taught. Well, I ain't accepting nothing less. I ain't gonna date no bum. There's plenty of men that aren't bums that you can be in a relationship with, but y'all don't want them because they're not ultra rich.
Now there's only female gyms. Imagine if there was an only female social media platform.
Sounds like a wonderful idea. I can just see it now. Just imagine what women would be talking about on a women's only platform.
If you could open an Instagram or TikTok account and only allow girls to follow you, only allow girls to see your videos, like engage with your content, whatever, and every single man was just banned on the platform. They couldn't sign up.
I think that someone is under the impression that it would somehow be better without men. Because do they think that women never leave disparaging, nasty comments? I mean, they could take a look at some of the comments I receive.
That would literally be my dream, because all my TikTok videos is just filled with hideous men commenting vile, disgusting things.
Well, that is unfortunate. However, there is a reason the block button exists. But it is rather naive to think that if a social media platform was only consisting of women, that they would never receive any nasty comments. Please.
I just want to block every single man. I don't want men to see my content. But like, you can't do that. You can't block every single man on social media. I feel like that would be a really great idea.
Lots of things have been called great ideas and often ended in disaster.
And you expect your husband to make $300,000 and be faithful to you?
I would hope so.
Why? Why? Because if most women want a man who can provide like that, see, that's what I don't understand with you modern women. You still want men. You want men who can provide like traditional men have, but they have to make so much more money than men of old. You know these men are extremely rare and very valuable. What are you bringing to the table from a marketplace standpoint that offsets his high value status?
That's a good question. I thought you were going to ask me what my ticket size was.
What are you bringing? Because that's the trade. He has I'm going to say high value. His high income status. What are you bringing from an S&B status to match his high income status?
I guess looks to a certain degree. Cooking.
Okay, how tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
Dress size?
4.
How much did you weigh the last time you weighed yourself?
128 pounds.
All right. For looks from a certain standpoint, but do looks increase or decrease with women as they age?
Most of the time they decrease.
Most of the time? Most of the time?
Look at Kelly Rowland, but she's an anomaly. But
remember, guys, everything's subjective or variable or very extreme. Remember? Subjective and variable or very extreme.
But you said women deserve less, so
Yeah,
therefore
yeah,
I deserve less.
Yeah, I don't think men should be simping on women. They got to earn that.
But you clearly haven't earned it yourself. I'll explain this in crayon eating terms.
Sure, yeah.
Why should men not be simps?
I think you mean why should men not be simps?
Yeah, why shouldn't they?
When you're a simp, women don't respect you.
If it's the other way around, women should not be simps for men.
Well, no, actually, women should simp for their man because men typically know how to deal with attention and validation from women better than women do. Women don't really know how to appreciate male attention because you guys get so much of it. Because since we don't get the abundance of attention that you guys do, we're able to better appreciate that attention when we do get it.
So men should not be simps for women, not even including their wives?
Well, even with your wife, you don't want to be a simp. Obviously, you don't want to be a pushover. I'm saying treat her well, obviously, but you don't want to be a simp either. Being a simp is basically showing an unreciprocated amount of attention and validation to a female that's not doing the same. So we have a few more minutes. Let's go to the next person.
You know what? Sure. Of course. It's been a pleasure talking with you. Kenny.
No problem.
He, she, they, pronouns.
Sure.
I have a male friend in his late 30s, American, dating mostly in America his whole life, of course. And he and I talk a lot about dating, and he recently moved to Europe for a small period of time. And he said, dating is so much more fun here, approaching women is so much more fun here. And I said, really? Like, what's the difference? And he said, women don't look at you like they're disgusted with you when you approach them. And I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I feel like I've noticed a really big cultural shift in the last, 20 or so years, where men approaching women, trying to hit on women, whatever you want to call it, like, is looked down upon and like almost subject to like social humiliation in the moment or afterwards. And so I feel curious, like, have you seen this? Especially if you're a woman, like, do you like when men approach you? Do you hate when men approach you? How could men approach you in a way that felt good to you? I'd love to hear your thoughts.
I knew that men were stupid when they started advocating for mandatory DNA tests at birth. These are the same men who think that the government is lying about the earth being flat, that the government lies about the census, and that the government faked the moon operation. They will give the government full authority over their DNA to keep in a database forever. and do whatever they want with it. But as long as it meant that women could make them pay $150 a month in child support, it's a win, right? The intelligent gender, everybody.
We're gonna do all these leaps and bounds to make DNA testing at birth a bad thing. Men are just so dumb because they want to know if that baby is theirs. These broads are just so insane. Rather than holding women accountable for lying about who the baby's father is or for sleeping with so many men during that period of time that she doesn't know who the baby's father is, rather than holding them accountable, no, it's men are stupid. You want the government to have your DNA? Guess what? The government, if they want your DNA, they can get your DNA. It's so easy for them to get your DNA. If they really want it, they can get it. They don't need to have all of this to get your DNA. If they want your DNA, they will already have it. Y'all will say anything to defend promiscuous broads and then try to reduce it down to $150. A lot of men are not paying $150 for their child support. Stop trying to reduce this down to justify your dysfunction, to justify the fact that y'all spread eagle to so many men that you have no idea who the pappy is. Stop putting on the cake for broads that behave this way. And I side-eye any woman or any man that does that because it's like, are you the type that would do that? Lie to someone for 18 years telling them that's their child? And because anyone with a moral compass is going to see an issue with that and would want to advocate for something that allows people to be sure, that allows a mother and a father to be sure who's who. So
I saw a study that almost half of men aged 18 to 25 have never approached a woman in person. And let me tell you, that was literally the most disheartening statistic as someone who's in that age group and who just deleted all her dating apps because she wants to meet someone in real life. I really do not want to hear anyone about a male loneliness epidemic when half of men my age aren't even attempting to talk to a woman in real life. I completely understand the fear of rejection and everything. It's hard out here to just go up and talk to someone you don't even know. But I feel our dependence on online stuff, dating apps, Instagram, whatever, has kind of made it so that no one talks to anyone anymore in real life. Because why risk rejection in person when the most you could do is slide into their Instagram DMs, and then if they say no, that's it. You don't have to see them again, You don't have to face that rejection in real life. Also, though, that people are going to say, it's 2023, why doesn't the woman just approach a man? That is completely fine. I have done that before. I have been the one in my past 2 relationships to, pursue, I guess, the man first. But sometimes a girl just wants to be asked out, if you're looking cute, you want someone to be like, hey, I think you're really pretty. Can I get your number or something? So, I don't know. I guess this is a message for guys. If you're watching this, don't feel super afraid to ask a woman out or say something. It doesn't have to be anything big. You just say, I think you're really pretty. Can I have your number? If she says no, respectfully move on. The fear of rejection that people have is really deterring them from ever saying anything to anybody now, especially because it's so easy to be like, oh, I could just look them up on Instagram later and say something or like their story, which doesn't mean anything. So yeah, I guess this is your sign to talk to somebody today. If you think they're cute, just say something.
A lot of women seem to be upset about the soft guy era, but let me tell y'all why it don't make sense at all. Because a lot of these same women want to live a soft life themselves at the expense of a man. Ain't no problem with that, but if a man can provide you with a soft life, chances are he already living it and he just inviting you into his world. So it don't matter if y'all don't like it. It is what it is. But on top of that, you asking for something that you don't want to give. Y'all don't think y'all coming off as selfish? The man don't even really want this, but just to see how y'all act and see who y'all really are, that's the point. So it's weird when y'all act like the goal is to be family, but y'all really debating if you should treat a man the same way you want to be treated. It shouldn't even be a debate. Matter of fact, when women actually care about a man, they do all of these things, which is why y'all complain about broke men. A lot of y'all have done this before and still do it for men who just don't value you, so the energy is not reciprocated. But this is what's happening out here. Women and men out here choosing based off of money and looks that can fade a minute from now. What happens to your relationship? It fade right along with it. Anybody who got any type of sense, they not even gonna waste their time with you. So that's what's happening out here. The same way a lot of women think that men don't like women, a lot of women don't like men. But they brainwash into believing that men are supposed to pay for everything. So this is the only reason they really want you most of the time. They think that the key to their soft life is you, but they don't really want you, which is why they don't want to hold up their end of the deal, which is why they don't want to treat you the way they want to be treated by you. It just don't make sense to me, but whatever. Subscribe to my YouTube, Planet Reality.
And modern women, they really believe that a world without men would be better. Oh, it's because of this man, because we're having so much trouble and yada yada and this and that. Y'all don't truly understand that in the absence of a man, y'all still need drama. Y'all are emotions. Y'all don't understand y'all's emotions are they're still going to be your emotions. Y'all are still going to have your feelings. Y'all are still going to go through an up and down. Oh, this is how I feel one day. This is how I feel the next day. Y'all are still, because y'all are, it'd be one thing if you're like, well, you know, if we had our emotions in check, then, you know, it might be a better world because we, you know, we all get along. But modern women don't really understand. They don't understand that y'all are undisciplined in the first place. So it doesn't really matter if a man is gone. One of y'all, with y'all's unchecked emotions and y'all's unbridled tongue, your unchecked tongue, can't nobody stop me. You're going to go out there and say something to another woman that doesn't take anything off you, and they're going to punch you in the mouth. They're going to punch you in the mouth, and that's going to be the end of it.
One reason why the chosen man should remain single is because women don't want a real relationship with the anointed man, with the man on his purpose, with the man that has things coming to him frequently, freely and abundantly. They just want validation to say that they were with this successful anointed man. They will tell their friends, hey, you know, I had him for the day. I had him for a shorter period of time just to boost their ego. But they don't really want longevity with the anointed because they understand that their light is diminished when the chosen presence is around them because they are not prioritized. They're not put first. They're not raised on a pedestal as if they're some princess. They're actually treated with logic and, you know, with reason. But chosen men, subconsciously, we understand this because purpose comes first. And when a woman is not prioritized and put second after purpose, we then get resentment. So it's best to just remain on your purpose and go as far as you can on that divine alignment. Then a woman who realizes and recognizes your value and that you have fulfilled your purpose will then come in with respect and actually honor what you have built. Stay chosen.
I realized I was like going on dates with men and entertaining men that I don't have genuine, authentic, emotional connection with or even attraction to sometimes. I am leveraging for an outcome here. And women do it every day, and so do men. It didn't feel good enough to me. So that is when I stopped going on the dates, thanked my matchmaker with love, and I went to my fertility doctor. And I told him my dilemma, and he said, well, Ebony, you're uniquely positioned in that you can go about motherhood in a solo capacity in New York City. And I researched and I did my due diligence and I decided I'm going to do it. I'm going to come back to this dating marketplace. I'm going to come back no longer trying to fill a void of I need to get a man to make my motherhood dream come true. I'm going to come back as a mother, and I'm going to come back with a purity of intention that says now I am dating exclusively for emotional and romantic connection.
A friend of mine said, the sooner men realize, understand, and accept the fact that women don't make sense and they're not supposed to make sense, 99% of their problems with women will just vanish.
I find it odd how women want to be taken seriously, but simultaneously they infantilize themselves all the time. Like, they want you to see them. First of all, me preface this by saying I absolutely see women as my equals. That's what I'm saying, right? But I'm saying they want to be taken seriously, but they constantly degrade their own intelligence, right? Like, they said they should be treated as equal and it's 2025 and this, that, and the third. But then they'll say something like, oh, I'm just a girl. What does that mean? Like, every time they say, oh, I'm such a girl, it's something about them making a joke about how incompetent they are. But why do you associate being a woman with being incompetent? Like, you're degrading yourself. So why are you doing that? Like, what do you mean that once you realize that a woman is a woman and they're not supposed to make sense? So you're just saying that there's no rationale in a woman's mind? Like, you're saying that women are not capable of reason, right? And why would you say that about yourself? To escape accountability for the time being? But all you're doing is putting down women's ability to be taken seriously at all. 'Cause let's say all men adopted the mindset of, once you realize that a woman's not supposed to make sense, all your problems will disappear. That means no man will ever take a woman serious in any regard because she doesn't make sense. She's not capable of rationale. She's not capable of being rational.
Trauma hurts women. Trauma builds men. Trauma makes women more masculine. Trauma makes men, if he overcomes that trauma, think about it. If any of you ladies,
toxic.
no, listen. If any of you ladies go through trauma,
be real.
listen. Speak this facts right here. No fugazi. If any of you ladies go through trauma, in order for you to overcome it, it's gonna make you a little bit more masculine. It's there. You have to be a little bit more worrisome to figure this out, more direct now, a bit more assertive, maybe a little bit more dominant, so you don't go through those traumas that you went through before, which is innately making you more masculine. Get what I'm saying? So men, when we go through stuff, the masculinity, it suits us nice. So when we overcome traumas, it builds that man, it builds the character. The more things that a man experienced and he overcame, the more sexier and more attractive he is. It's facts.
Yeah. I think I see where you're going, because I do believe that that is my problem in relationships. I honestly believe that I've been through so much. I believe that I'm more masculine.
One thing I always tell women is, if you have to be single for longer than you would like or longer than you expected just because you have high standards, that's okay.
Sometimes their standards be too high, though.
Do you think women's standards are too high?
Sometimes, yeah.
I don't think their standards be too high. You're looking for the one person that everybody is ideally wanting and not who you're supposed to be with. You're looking for a fantasy, but you ain't a fantasy. You have to be your standards.
100%.
You know, but a lot of people aren't their standards. They just want the easy way out. Yeah. It's not that there's no good men around or there's no good women around. You're just not the type of person that you're looking for. You have to change your type and your appetite. So
Definitely.
you have to switch it all the way up and be real with yourself. You got to pretty much lower your standards, because there's somebody out there lowering their standards to be with your ass.
It's not about lowering standards. It's about being realistic. Having your realm of expectations that you know are realistic for you.
Women are only as faithful as their past partners, and men are only as faithful as their options. So men and women play the game on two different ends, meaning that the more bodies you rack up, the harder it is for you to find genuine love and actually give that man genuine love, because you already had past. You'll be comparing and contrasting with multiple other individuals based off sizes, income, height, charismaticness, and everything else. But the girl that doesn't have a whole lot past partners, it's easier for her to be faithful. Girls like to be wowed, and men like to be the person to wow the girl. So think about it. A woman with a lot of partners, it's harder for her to be wowed, and it's harder for the man to wow her. Then you really got to get a man that's superior to the partners. So this is why I'm saying that a woman is only as faithful as her partners, because the more partners she acquires, the higher the likelihood she'll disqualify more men.
I have a TikTok going a little viral right now because it ended up triggering a whole group of women. Essentially what I said is that there are women that will leave their marriage simply because she isn't happy. Yet men will tolerate years of disrespect in order to maintain the commitment that he made to that marriage. For those of you that get it, you either one, have experienced this yourself, or you've witnessed very closely somebody that has gone through it. Two, you understand that this is not always the case across the board, but you understand that it does happen, so it can be validating to those that have experienced it. Number three, somewhere in the last 5 videos that you just swiped up on, you saw a video that a man was being blamed for whatever it was in the relationship, that it was his fault. At least one of them is giving a woman's perspective on relationships or dating. And lastly, 4, how many videos do you see out there where a woman is getting a divorce or she's thinking about getting a divorce simply because she's not happy? It's happening. Ladies, it's happening.
Men need to date within their tax bracket and stop getting mad that the woman they want has high standards. You don't walk into a luxury store and get mad that the prices are high. You can either build up your money and wait to buy what you want or shop where you can afford. Dating works the same way. A woman with high standards makes insecure men feel uncomfortable. Not because they're asking for too much, but because she reminds them of what they haven't built yet. If you want to appeal to a high standard woman, focus on building your income, your discipline, your purpose, and self-respect. Build yourself up to attract the standard of woman you desire.
Jesus Christ. They all want to date the same guy.
All them excuses as to why she ain't want to fucking link up with you yet. And yo, still trying to chase the stupid. Meanwhile, you got other women that want to see you and add value to your life and want to be with you. But your nappy-headed ass keep on chasing this stupid like a idiot. Like, why? She ain't doing nothing for you, but just showing you that she just like the rest of these. Playing.
Woman says that her best friend kicked her out of her wedding because she wore a yellow dress. That's awful. Let's see what she has to say.
You guys really want to see the yellow dress that got me kicked out of my friend's wedding.
We do.
And I'm not one to disappoint you. So I'm going to go put it on, and you're going to tell me, is it yellow or is it white? Let's go. I really don't think you guys are ready for this, okay?
Yellow?
Now listen, I really thought that yellow would be totally appropriate to wear to a wedding. I never in a million years thought that this dress would get you. Tell me what you think.
And, you know, I really appreciate, there was one guy saying that a lot of these modern women, when they get with a certain type of man, they're put on a pedestal. They're, you talk to them with logic as you would talk to one of your guys. Now, when I say that you would talk to one of your guys, you reason with them, you talk with them, right? And you say, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about women? They're emotional. Let me say, they have more emotion. They a lot of times they lead with their emotions. That's just how women are, right? So men lead with logic. That's just the thing you're gonna have to accept. Okay, so they're different there. But the issue that men are running into is that modern women never see it from a logical the standpoint of a man. They want it to be, okay, just focus on my feelings, focus on my emotions. But a man is like, yes, I can focus on your emotions, but this is the reality of the situation. Modern women have to start coming into reality. Stop being delusional. Men are not saying that your emotions and what you feel isn't valid. But after that's all said and done, what are you going to do? You can't sit around and cry all day. You have to move forward. Well, just let me feel it for the moment. Okay, you can feel it for the moment, but we can't feel it forever. You got to get up at some point in time. Modern women be hanging around for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months on one problem, and we ain't got nothing done all year. You want the man to drag you from marker to marker to marker all the way over the finish line, knowing you wouldn't want to do that for that man.